with Sko. Vectors, friction, motion. Let's go with Sko. It's a lot more fun with a little commotion. Curiosity is the remedy. All you really need's velocity. Let's go with Sko. Professor Sko. Let's go with Sko. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Olivia Cano. I'm a teacher in Lincoln, Nebraska, and today we are going to be learning about skydiving from our I Fly video that Professor Sko filmed. And a great craft to get the kids involved is making our own little parachutes. So all you're going to need today is some yarn, or if you want to make it more fun for the kids, get some colorful string, some coffee filters, and your own mini Professor Sko. So we're going to move these aside. Like I said, you'll make a little Professor Sko, forgive my drawing, but you can get a, just an easy printable one, cut it out for the kids. You can let them draw their own. And then the next thing you're going to need is just put a little hole punch in there. You're going to grab your coffee filters. You can get bigger ones depending on how big you're making your person, but just got this one for sample today. You're going to hole punch a little one on each side, and then you're going to need your string. So what you'll do is you can give the kid the option, and this is where kind of their creativity comes in. They get to design their own little person. They also get to design how they want to string it. So do they think it's best if they string it through the center, or is that going to cause more drag when they're dropping it in the air, or is that going to pull it side to side? Do they want to string it through on one side, get their person in the middle, and have kind of almost like a dipping shape where their person's at the bottom and they're hanging it through on each side, kind of like that? Is that going to give it the easiest breeze that they can? So however which way they want to do it, you can demonstrate however you prefer. I also did have a couple students that liked putting a popsicle stick up top to add more of a tougher surface. Whatever you or the student decides, totally fine with me. So I'm just going to go ahead. And this one's kind of long, but however, again, letting the students it's kind of like an experiment, right? They're seeing how well theirs is going to fly. So once you do this, you can clip this piece off here, but you'll have something just like this. And so this is a fun time where you can take the students. You can either step on a chair or you can hold it up depending on how tall you are, and you can just let it drop and see how it flies. You can talk about why does the coffee filter flip? Is there too much weight? If they're having something, either the string inside and it's falling, kind of collapsing, you can talk about why that is. Something also you can do is if you wanted to use a fan, and depending, you can make it a challenge, see which ones flies the best, then you can bring them to a final round, put a fan down and have it floating on top of the fan. Will it float? Will it fly off? Will the parachute collapse? And that's something really cool about skydiving, is that importance of the parachute. And that kind of transitions into the next topic that you can talk about, where you can get your students out of your seat. In Professor Sko's video, she talks about something called an eagle position, where their legs are spread out and their arms are wide and they're kind of bent and they're like this. And she'll be able to show you while she's inside the tube how she's flat out and laying. And you can describe that to your students saying, this is her eagle position, and have everyone stand up, demonstrate their eagle position, might put one leg up or whatever so they're standing. And you can talk about the importance of that, of when you're skydiving, even if they've never skydived before, that if you're not in that position, when your body's crazy and all over the place, you're going to move everywhere. But when we want our little Sko to get from point A to B, we have to use things like our eagle position to keep us safe and get us to where we need to be. But that's the great thing about this craft, whether you want to start with getting them out of their seat and doing something like an eagle position, or just talking about the logistics of why do we have a parachute? Why do people skydive? Is it for fun? Would anybody want to skydive? I mean, there's so many ways you can engage your students just from using the craft, getting them out of their seat, or just asking them questions and talking about how, for me, if you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we don't get to skydive in big cool places or go over rivers or things like that, and Professor Sko gets to do the crazy stuff all out in the crazy places in the world, but how can we bring it home in Lincoln, Nebraska? And how can we make it so the kids get to have that same experience. So give it a try today.
Are you using Professor Sko's adventures to teach science in your classroom? If so, shoot me an email at the address listed right here below. We would love to hear how you are using the adventures of Professor Sko, Rusty, Sparky, and occasionally the mysterious Lord Dark Matter to teach those crucial science standards in your classroom. Maybe we will feature you and your school in a future video.
Let's go with Sko. Vectors, friction, motion. Let's go with Sko. It's a lot more fun with a little commotion. Curiosity.